morning, everyone, and welcome to Talking Horses on Duncan Diana today. Maggie Wolfendale and Andy Serling. And Saratoga seems like when they predict weather, as they did on Monday and Tuesday, and none came, and there was none predicted this morning, and a 6 o'clock brief storm turned into a 3-hour deluge, and it's dramatically changed today's card.
My weather app, and the radar looked as though it was moving out within 15 minutes, but yet it still kept raining.
Yep.
And it was just that one cell, and it seemed to get stuck right over us.
Right. The Saratoga is a magnet for massive cells. Anyhow, unfortunately, we are off the turf, and we are sloppy and sealed as well. We're on the turf for the two stakes, the 8th and 11th, including the Duncan Diana. And we got a lot to talk about, so we're going to get right to work. Let's head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member of Naira Bets, no better time than the present. Use the promo code SPA200. We'll match the $200 of your initial deposit. We have a bankroll builder opt in for this. Bet 50 or more, $50 on the Diana, and win or lose, you'll get $20 towards the Travers Stakes. What else, Eddie? Cross Country Big Five, 2 at Monmouth, and 3 here at Saratoga as well. Saratoga Live will be on from 12:30 to 7 on FS2, and then 8 to 11 for you harness aficionados on FS2 as well. Race number 1. I have not discussed this with Maggie because I'm dying to hear her opinion as we show the 2-year-old sales work of Tajermeen. And I'm curious your thoughts because you're more qualified than me, and I have thoughts, but I want to know yours.
So he was asked quite a bit in this workout. Now, you notice he's kind of your typical Into Mischief prototype. And he looks like a big, powerful type of horse. So, look, it's maybe not what you want to see from the rider because he was hard-assed to get that 9 and 4, which you don't love to see.
That's exactly what I thought.
But I do feel as though, you know, he's just your typical Into Mischief. The fool, Taraz, she went 3 for 3, 2 of those stars as a 2-year-old. She was a stakes winner. And all 4 of the siblings are winners, and all of which on the main track. So
a lot of turf, though, in the family as well. I mean, Taraz was obviously a dirt horse, but there's plenty of turf. Even the dam herself was sort of
she ran well on both.
Equa-efficient.
She ran well on both. I'm fine. You know, Steve is a last resort turf type of person to go there. So
he wants a lot of money for this horse, huh? I mean, I know it's a big pedigree, but still.
It's an Into Mischief. These do appear to be new owners in the game, too, because obviously they named the horse after themselves.
They did. There you go.
Though I did look up Steve's record. It's pretty good for first-time starters on the dirt here with his 2-year-olds at Saratoga. The past 5 years, he's 12 for 46. I think it's not the greatest ROI because they usually look like this horse.
Who do you think the lunatic was that gave a $725,000 yearling to Tom Amos? This is the one that's more interesting and on a serious note from a pedigree standpoint because, I mean, I know it's not this time and they're valuable. The dam side pedigree is not great. I mean, the second dam was okay, but she's produced 4 horses that didn't do much running at all.
No. I will say that her lone win, the dam, did come on a wet track, so any moisture we have left in the track, which we should,
we got plenty.
Should help this horse, and not this time. He's so proficient. I think people are paying up if they are clean as far as vetting for these horses because they can do anything, and you can get them to win early. He hits at 18% with his 2-year-olds.
He's tremendous.
Yeah,
You picked Curtin Call, the horse who tried to chase obliteration.
I mean, how often did we see Mark Cassidy successful with this type of move? Get a race into him down at Churchill. This horse took money, and I actually got the story. I caught up with Steve when he won with Get a Job yesterday. I asked, why did obliteration not take much money? He was 10 to 1 in that debut. He said, Maggie, you never see me run first-time starters, my young horses, in blinkers, but I had this horse over at Keeneland. I worked him once from the gate with those blinkers on, and it was a stellar work.
A friend of mine loved this horse based on the workout, so that jives with that.
And he said it is a night and day difference as far as this horse with blinkers, obliteration, that is. And Curtain Call, he took money that day. I thought he showed good tracking speed. He stayed on well. He was very professional. These are the types that Mark Casse wins with. Though I respect the first-time starters because the one on the rail, Throckmorton, looks like an absolute rocket ship based upon workouts.
He's about 2 to 5 to get left. But if he doesn't get left, I'm guessing he'll be in front. I saw the workouts. I was interested in the 3. That one scratched, so I sort of moved things around because I didn't want to pick the 4 on top. The one thing I'd say about Curtain Call, and I don't disagree with you, he's kind of oddly the horse to beat in here, is they bet him first time. It wasn't a mark horse that needed a start. Now, he ran into a buzzsaw, so the fact that he finished second
it is West Point, though, too.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying this wasn't a, one. But I don't disagree. This horse is probably the horse to beat. And if the one gets left, as he's likely to, because they always seem to get left, these horses, then he's going to find himself probably in front.
He did. He worked 20-3. With not that much
I agree. I thought the press of the workout was impressive.
And he does exactly what I want to see horses do, and that's, kind of lower himself into stride and throws his legs out. But again, like you said, there's that possibility of him getting
fast
left.
works. Do they never not get left? It's just unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I have no idea. I hope the horse breaks, obviously.
And like Jose D'Angelo does a great job, but like as far as his 2-year-old, first-time starters here at Saratoga, he's just not as accomplished as Steve Asmussen is.
His numbers in Saratoga aren't as good as his numbers out of town, to
Correct.
be fair, if you look up his overall stats. And I'm interested to see Caracaro. I thought he was a really good horse that unfortunately got injured.
Talk about early. I mean,
After
but this
the
is
Travers,
his second.
right?
This is his second crop, and he's 25% with his first-time starting 2-year-olds.
I thought he was going to be a really good horse. Race number 2. So my question with Ginger Ale, Ginger Ale obviously because the dam is Coca-Cola, and I wanted to just take this opportunity to show one of my favorite horses, search results. And here she is reliving a horrendous beat in the Kentucky Oaks when she finished second to Malathot, and what was a really stirring stretch duel between 2 really good horses. I picked her, and I don't know. I'm hoping for the best, but I guess a lot more in these races than most people.
Yeah, and so much of my analysis goes down to what I see from them on the day.
But didn't you say on the call that there is a tip on the? Somebody said there's a tip. Was it you or Acacia said?
No, actually, Tom Amos said there's a tip on
just
Ginger Ale, and I've been doing my 2-year-old reports, and I wanted to get Ginger Ale. She was my first choice, but Rudy Brissett wasn't here until yesterday, so I couldn't really interview him back on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it was, Wednesday. But I actually really do like Amelia Green's horse, Fancy Footwork, and what she has shown in her morning workouts.
Okay.
I didn't pick her on top because I went with a horse that has experience.
Dan was pretty good at Fancy Footwork. She was a nice horse.
Well, she won her first start as a 2-year-old as well. So, granted, a half Capensis won his
Much
first
more
start,
turf, yeah.
but all turf. Granted, greatest stakes winner.
He never ran again after he won the Virginia Derby,
No,
right? Yeah. He was a Team Valor.
Yeah.
Todd and Team Valor, yeah.
And Fancy Footwork, you'll see if you watch the show, you'll see my 2-year-old report on her. But massive daughter of Curlin. So yes, that speaks to her possibly wanting more ground than the 6 furlongs she gets here first time out. But she's been working with older colts and just, in my eye, keeping up, if not better. Not destroying them. I don't want to, use that.
Are you concerned
adjective,
that you've started out the meet 3 for 3 with your 2 reports, which means you have an 0 for 10 streak coming up?
Oh, absolutely. It's attrition. I know.
know.
This is why I never
regression
brag.
to the mean. You might have been better off starting off flat. Well, at least you start off well, so you've got some winners.
Yeah, exactly. But I legitimately do like this filly, and she said to me, Amelia, yes, she could want more ground, but she actually worked that gate workout was with one of Todd's horses, and Todd said to her, don't be afraid to run this horse at 6 furlongs. And Amelia says, I have tried to slow her down, tried to make her take a step back, and she just keeps asking for more.
And first-time starters that want to go longer, if they're talented, they can win going shorter. Yeah. It's not you have to be careful with that stuff. The greatest, so far, the 2-year-old name of the year, though, has to be Fraudster, right?
Absolutely.
Charlatan the sire. I love that name.
I freaking love it.
That's a really good name.
Yeah, I know. We'll see. Charlatan's had 2 debut winners, one on turf, one on dirt.
I didn't love the 2-year-old sales work. How about you?
I thought she looked like a turf horse in that workout, and there is turf on the bottom side of the dam. So the dam is half to Uncle Mo.
Yeah. Oh, right. I actually knew that.
Yeah.
I thought Ginger Ale, when I first saw the horse, I thought it might be that the owner was a big gin player, because that's You know, you get
No.
gin. People say ginger ale.
Cola?
So talk about Spa Prospector, Tom's horse, who took a ton of money. I booked the horse third out of respect for the money. I know the horse is a bit wide and, you know, and obviously broke out at the start, but I got to tell you, this horse didn't do much running, did
No, she was kind of even, right? But I would think that getting a little bit more ground, looking at her pedigree, it should help her. Maybe she wants to go a mile eventually here as a 2-year-old. But I just thought the experience angle, I'm going to lean into these horses. Like I said, there could be some very talented debut and first-time starters here with fancy footwork, with Fraudster, with Ginger Ale, even with Atropa. We haven't talked about her.
Or even asking. I mean, you know, it feels like probably more distance, but no, there's a lot going on in this race.
There's a lot going on, so I just figured I might get a decent price, though, on Spot Prospector. I like the fact that Jose Ortiz takes them out, because usually he goes to Cherie. I don't know the story, but I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, it's hard to know, you know, if he was committed first to Tom already.
Right.
And I'm sure he had ridden for Tom down a bit down at Churchill, and maybe sure you went in later or whatever. You never know, though. I know those things, when you start making bets because of who's riding them, you're risking getting yourself in a lot of trouble. I mean, you could be right, but a lot of times it's just, you know, one horse wasn't going, and Cherie decided to go at the last minute, and he was already committed there. Race number 3, Joey Muscles came out of race number 3. I'm going to show Jerry's out, who should be stalking in this race.
Yeah.
Listen, he's got the fastest figs, and he won on the muddy sealed track. I didn't pick him, but he's very dangerous here.
There were several horses that I thought you could go to in this race, but for me, he just was the one that projected to get the right trip in here. There's several that want to go and almost appear to need the lead to be successful, and now he's drawn outside, and he has enough tactical speed that I think he's there late as well.
Especially
turning back a little
I
bit.
have no argument with him. Listen, I have a big argument with Art Fair, who I think is dangerous for Mark, who's going to be forward in here.
His
along
2
with the
7
5.
furlong races are really fast.
Yeah, no, he's got fast races, so I had no problem with him. I have a theory on the 3, and my problem is, believe it or not, I wanted to bet this horse on a fast track, because I didn't think the last race was that good, and I thought maybe...
Well, there's every reason to believe, based on pedigree, that he could be better.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if this was a dirt horse all along. And, you know, I know it. Listen, he won first time out on the turf, so it's not like Al's gotten it wrong. And, you know, I think Al's great. So I just thought this might be kind of an interesting horse in this race on the dirt. There's so much exposed form in here, and this is unexposed. And, you know, Al bothered to bring this horse all the way here. And I just thought it was kind of interesting that he did. And I trust in Al. He usually has a couple of wise guy type horses up at this meet at the very least. And I thought maybe this might be one of them.
Yeah, I like
got him second, so
I like you handicap this race for a fast track, because that's just how you got to do
things. Because we stupidly believe the weather forecast. And, you know, we're going to remain optimists and believe them going forward, but...
But this horse is half to Hero's Medal, who is a confirmed dirt horse that Al used to train and has done well for Linda. Puts the blinkers on, and I thought his last race was actually really good. He made up more ground than any.
I agree. The horse who won the race was a legitimate dirt horse. The race didn't fall apart. I thought this horse was an interesting alternative. I'm just turned on a little by the new face, because some of the old faces we've been seeing a lot, which is a credit to them. Race number 4, my top pick, Sitka, scratched out of this race in race 4, and you and I both have
a little against him.
CPG. Well, I'm against him now. And with him scratched, we'll take a look at CPG winning at Oaklawn last time out. I mean, CPG is just completely loose in this race, right? What's going to run with this one? I guess Grey Wing's going to go. But
Grey Wing, if he gets out of the gate, you know, I wonder, he reared up last time, which completely eliminated him. But sometimes I get a little leery. It's 50-50 whether they continue that bad habit. Sometimes it's just a one-off, and sometimes they just start doing it.
He also won with a big bias on May. Not that you're saying you like him. I just don't really like him. And I thought, at least if CBG's not clear, he'll be stalking on the outside.
And who else was in that race?
Who?
I'm Wide Awake.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Actually, he finished nowhere. He finished 5th. Yeah, I have it written down. I can't read my handwriting. I don't know why I bother writing these things down. I can never read it.
That's why I use a keyboard.
That's why you're here.
Yeah, well.
For a variety of reasons, you're here.
Yeah, no, yes, I think we both get a little bit leery about taking these Oaklawn horses, but he's had time.
He took 2.5 to 3 months, 2+ months off.
And it feels like Dan Ward, with what he's brought to the NYRA circuit, they run.
They've run. I completely agree. Well, I thought Lost in Rome was kind of
He's so
dangerous in
consistent.
here. I mean, I'm not going to make too much of his last race, that Amundsen race. It's not that he didn't have a chance. He just ended up way too far back in that race.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was a
And
big field and horses got lost a little bit.
absolutely, it was a huge field. That was a tough race to
Well, you can't watch the
handicap.
replay,
Oof.
so unfortunately,
Yeah.
and I was not here that day.
But like I said, he just always kind of shows up. So he's a dangerous horse in that respect.
Burnin' Hunk of Love second.
Burnin' Hunk of Love, reluctantly, I'd say. I don't love horses claimed from Joe Sharp.
I have stats on the
Go for
dirt.
it.
Claim from Joe Sharp. 22 for 179, 12%, and a $1.02 ROI.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want that horse.
I would not disagree with
I would
you.
not claim. I would not claim from that guy. He's
Nope.
too sharp for me. Seriously, I would not
Dude,
claim from him.
same.
Yeah.
Same. So I respect the horse. You know what I mean?
Sure, he's got fast races. I agree.
Right,
But he got those fast races when he was claimed by Joe.
That's also true.
You know, he took over the training and boom.
He did have a little bit of trouble, but I think ultimately he kind of gave up late.
Yeah. I don't really want him, but I listen, he's got races, obviously, to make him a serious contender. Race 5 is the first of 4 off the turf races, unfortunately. I stayed with the horse that I picked anyway, and you put on top, Resilience. I really wanted to see him on the turf because he's got plenty of turf pedigree.
Yeah.
And I thought he'd be interesting in here, and I know he's been a bit of a disappointment. He does cut back to a mile in this race, and like you, I just put him on top, and unfortunately, I mean, is he going to be favored for sure over Certified Lover Boy? Probably, right?
Yeah, I mean, they like betting Belmont. I like picking Belmont, so I get it. And
he's
I
pretty
think
good.
I thought he was against the track last time too. A day you wanted to be inside
Yep,
up here on June
I agree.
8th, and he was just wide chase throughout. Bramido, the entire time was on the rail.
Yeah, I agree. Anybody else we have interesting in here? I mean, obviously.
Well, I think the
Certified
pace
Lover
is
Boy
something
can
you
win.
need to talk about. Obviously, the scratch of Magnolia Midnight helps things out. I mean, does Light the Way potentially get loose here? Does that make him dangerous? I don't particularly like him, but neither do you.
I don't think he's faster than Certified Lover Boy. I know Certified Lover Boy's running some longer races.
But that's the thing is,
Certified
Light
Lover
the Way
Boy's
comes out of a
fast.
5.5 furlong turf sprint. That's going to sharpen a horse up more so than coming out of a 1.5 mile turf
I know,
race.
but do you really think she's going to be in front of Certified
Who
Lover
picks
Boy?
up the ride?
I
Certified
don't
Lover?
know.
I don't either.
I don't. Don't talk in my ear.
Whoever is talking.
Yeah, we got to shut that off, please. Anyway, we'll break after 6. I don't have a strong. I put Accretive second. I don't trust Accretive, to be honest with you.
I don't either, but I do think he gets class relief here.
Yeah, I thought he'd get there, and I was going to try to. I tried to take a little against Certified Lover Boy. I just thought the 5 was better. And I don't think that Magical Ways is impossible in here. He just never wins.
Well, that's the thing is I thought that Magical Ways could get the right setup today, but last time he didn't have a bad trip, and he just was just kind of there. Like you said, he runs well enough to win, but he doesn't win.
Yeah,
He's
he
one of
just
those.
doesn't get there, and
Yeah.
this is a little tougher, I think, than some of the reels he met. Flavian Pratt is on Certified Lover Boy. Thank you, Steve.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
All right, we done with this mess?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Race number 6 off the turf in here. I'm
relying heavily on this Lilies in Paradise race. I just realized could blow up in my face.
even though she ran 12 buyer points worse in her next start. We'll take a look at Delightful Darling, even though it's a turf race, just so you don't have to look at us for this much extended period of time. I'm not going to be surprised when she actually runs okay. I feel like Mark gets these turf horses sometimes to run. I just don't want to bet her. And like you, I just went to Polestar, who's the
Well,
dirt
she's a
horse in this
fool
race.
to Northern Flame, who is pretty good on the dirt.
I think that Polestar might end up being a better turf horse, to be honest, but I
Yeah.
thought did run well enough in there. I'm just gonna go to that horse that ran in the dirt and not take a bunch of horses that were entered for turf when at least this horse
Right.
has some dirt and Wesley wins a lot. But I'm not sure Polestar's that good.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. Look, I thought, Two Bits might be a little bit interesting for Amelia because watching the workouts, the 1-2 back out of the gate, she was a little bit green out of there, but now, this horse didn't run very well. It was that $1 million rebellious type that debuted as a 4-year-old.
It was a 4-3. Yeah, but that was one that probably was a Todd give up
Yeah.
a little bit, you know.
But anyway, she worked with him, and I thought she was going better than him. So, and there's enough pedigree for me to take her on the dirt.
Well, I mean, the second dam is Finder's Fee, who is an
Yeah.
exceptional dirt horse for the Phippses and Shug. So there's plenty of dirt. And the thing about those Phipps horses is they all have Buck Passer and Bold Ruler, so they all have turf pedigree. You know what I mean?
Right.
But a lot of them were horses that ran in the dirt.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Finder's Fee was very good in the dirt.
I found it really odd that Graham left Chrysalism in. Maybe odd in a good way. Is a daughter of Liam's map, and the dam she was multiple graded stakes place going long on the dirt, but all the siblings have been turf.
Yeah, I wonder if, I actually like this horse in the turf.
Me too.
But I wonder if he's thinking, we'll take a shot and see what happens in the dirt, and he's not. Maybe that means he's not as confident in the turf in general, but he probably doesn't know that she was against the track last time,
Yeah.
which we do. We'll take a break. Maggie and I'll be back with the pick 6, race number 7.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
We're back. Race number 7. She's Maggie. I'm not. Race number 7. I don't know about you. This race was a bear.
To figure out?
Very,
Yeah, tell me
very
about it.
tough race. It's funny about the number 2,
Malerchuk?
Malerchuk. And I would say we'll take a look at Malerchuk's last race, where you'll never convince me that this was a good put-up. It doesn't really matter. The winner of this race is going to Curlin. In a way, though, and I said this to Chad Brown, this horse now is doomed to be running out of conditions because he didn't really win his non-winners of 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
that-
And he's now in a non-winners of 2, which is tougher. But this is going to be a good test for that number, isn't it? I know it's a wet track, so that changed things, but he handles a wet track.
I mean, did we see a significant improvement because of the blinkers going on for the first time?
Certainly possible.
First time here at Saratoga as well. And
Or maybe he didn't want a wet track, and now he's on a dry track. But we'll see. But that's your point.
That's also true.
Yeah.
I respectfully disagree. I thought that it was a justified takedown because he was coming back on the horse, but maybe he was pulling up. Strategic focus for lacking focus and being all over the racetrack.
Did you watch the blimp shot? Blimp
Oh,
shot
I
was
really
on
feel like I
race.
need to sneeze. Sorry.
Thank you for sharing.
You're quite welcome. Ultimately, I went to the horse that is now third off of a layoff that I felt as though had the most comprehensive, if you will, form going this 9 furlong distance relative to who he faces today, and that is Drake's Passage. Last time out in the commentator, that race dominated on the front end between Mama's Gold and Bank Frenzy, who would ultimately get there in the end. And really, he just kind of ran in place. Now, whether, some of his better races are behind him, I don't know, because he did take a step forward, second off the bench.
Yeah, I'm going to change my picks in this race. Can I do that? Because I have to apologize, and I'll do this on the website when I'm done, and make them 7-2, 9-4. My problem with him is I don't trust him on a wet track unless he has the lead. And how the hell is he getting the lead in this race?
Okay.
That's my problem. I liked him, too, on a wet track. I mean, on a dry track. I thought he was really interesting, even without the lead. I'm worried about him on a wet track. Now, it's possible, too, the track will dry significantly by then.
Yeah.
It's still going to have some moisture, but maybe it won't be that wet because it's sun's supposed to come out, and there's a reasonable chance that it could dry out. So we'll see. I mean, this race is being run 4 hours from now, so it's not, more than 4 hours. So it could be a little drier, but I don't trust him. I don't trust him in that situation. As far as Society Man, you were talking about the Ramito day, and even though he saved some ground, he did try to angle wide, and I wondered if he...
only, until, the very
Yeah,
last
no,
part of the
I
turn.
agree. I
And
agree.
most of the time, most
Inside.
of the 9 furlongs, he was inside.
But, the thing that I liked, I didn't really want to get too caught up in that. It was his first start in 5 months. And he was going a mile and an eighth, and he made a move, and he probably needed a race. Now, maybe he was ready to go then. He's got some fast races on the go back.
He
It's
does.
not like he hasn't run well, and I feel like they're going to be moving up front a little bit in this race. And if they're moving up front, it might help him make a run. And I was just a little interested in him at a price. I don't love him, but I didn't want to take the 2 entry. I don't like Digital Ops.
I thought he ran very well last time.
Digital Ops? Yeah.
No, Society Man.
Yeah, I just thought he was the worst that ran well enough off the layoff that with a little improvement, he's got some back races to get him there. I thought he was, he's Matt Wynn, this horse has some quality. And, you like Bermuda last time. He's a last time was the time horse.
Exactly.
Not that he can't win, but I'm going to take a shot with Society Man.
Yeah, and a lot of times my theory with Bermudo is, well, A, he was with the track last time, and B, horses will do that. I know he's run 2 turns, going back a ways, but the first time in a long time, that's when they'll run their best effort at that distance. Now he comes back to do it again, and you generally don't get the same results.
Yeah. Actually, Gustavo has decent numbers. He's 17%
Well, he's good
with
with his
35
dirt
starters
routers.
in routes off of wins
Yep.
on the dirt. So it's kind of interesting. But it's an interesting race. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I just wish Drake's Fashions had more speed for this field because
I hear you.
there's some quick ones in here. Race
I hear
number 8. So a lot of scratches here, including Web Slinger. The remaining horses are El Razine, Tucson, Farbridge, and Harrow. We'll take a look at Farbridge in Manhattan. And it's interesting. I don't think you could ride a horse better than Joel rides this horse. And he didn't lose because of the distance. He lost because maybe the horses were a little bit better, especially at that distance.
Right.
But on the other hand, Integration should have probably won the race. So I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Integration was a little bit unlucky in this race, to be honest with you. Regardless, he ran very well. He is way the horse to beat in a 4-horse field. Joel should have no problem with him getting position.
Tactical.
He can handle giving the ground. So I picked against him because I have a thing for a horse, but I'm obviously not against him.
With the scratches, I really can't see anybody else winning.
Well, I
I would gladly listen to your
listen, you're talking about a horse that's going to be 1-5 at this point in this race. And my feeling with Farbridge is I got the money with him. I don't need to follow his train around at 1-5. And you're right, he's probably going to win this race. But I want to show El Razine's. I'll show the last race. Is this the Keeneland race? Yeah. What I found interesting about this race is that he was able to run second behind a horse that ran okay, and he finished ahead of Intellect, who's obviously pretty good. And he's not a 1.16 horse.
No.
This horse is a pure router, and he really improved going long last year. And listen, maybe there were reasons that he didn't come back and run, but if you look at him, he's been working May 15th, May 23rd, June 9th, June 20th, June 27th. It's not like he missed time, and Todd has not run him back. And it's like he wanted to go long with this horse, and he was good last time, and he was never that good going short. And if he's an improved horse, I think he has a chance to beat the favorite. I'm not overly optimistic, but I'm going to take a shot with El Razine, who really came to hand last year because he got a perfect trip when he won up here. But his next start, when he won the second start up here, he did not have a perfect trip.
No.
He just destroyed that field.
Yeah. And look, he ran well behind Carson's Run and Deterministic.
Right.
And they're very good. And I had my reservations about him, maybe with this turf condition, but look, he's an English Channel Kittens Joy Cross. They love this type of going.
Yeah, I just think he's kind of interesting, and I get you on Harrow. He's obviously not impossible.
I just liked his last
piece,
race.
but I think he's got plenty of races to make him a contender in this race. I'm not way
Yeah,
against
I mean, he's a little
him.
bit, I don't know. Yeah.
I have a thing
Yeah.
for El Razine. I have been waiting to bet him in this spot. I'm not sure, and I'm sure Todd's not sure he can beat Farbridge, even if he runs really well.
Yeah.
Farbridge is pretty damn good. I mean, he's arguably one of the best
So
turf horses in the country.
consistent, too.
Super consistent, absolutely. Race number 9, we are off the turf in race number 9. And one thing I'll say, and I get it, like it's very easy to look and be frustrated and say, how are 3 to 4 MTOs out? And that's a very reasonable question. I believe these horses are a big part of a 6 or 7 horse field on Thursday. So unfortunately, I think I'm assuming that's why they scratched. I could be wrong.
Can I ask, though, why didn't the form print that?
Because we drew Thursday yesterday.
Okay.
I mean, I printed these forms when dinosaurs were still roaming the earth.
Yeah,
It's and I get it. I do. I mean,
But I mean, like, I was looking at my formulator on my other computer.
they're not going to update PPs like that. It doesn't.
Got it.
PPs. Well, there's 2 PPs basically.
Yeah.
There's the initial one, and then there's the final.
Right.
They don't add things to the finals.
Got
If
it.
if a workout, but if there's a workout between the initial PP and the final, it'll get in
It'll
there.
get in there,
But
yeah.
once they put a final up, it's not
Okay.
going to be changed. And David, you can feel free, Aragona, to text me and tell me I'm wrong. But I don't believe I'm
I mean,
wrong
that's
about that.
usually the case.
Yeah, so they wouldn't add something like that,
Yeah.
And I'm almost sure that I'll look again, but I'm almost sure those horses are in. So, I don't know. I'm just going to take Kenny McPeak's horse. I know it's a long, long layoff. I thought this horse was super interesting on the turf. And
Been training with Jimmy Jerkins down at Belmont.
I haven't talked to Jimmy at all.
I haven't
It's very
seen him since
disappointing.
he started working for
This horse was
Jimmy.
pretty good, and I agree with you. Gild Kraken is a little bit interesting as the speed in this race.
Yes, that was my whole
but
theory. And
I bet
I
the
think,
common fence is better. That's all. I'm going to look for that race. So,
and I
ignore me.
do think that he doesn't. I mean, granted, he hasn't done much running. Like, his race 2 back was terrible, but there was a layoff. And he comes back. That horse, Multitask, would come back, albeit it's a turf horse. But I do think he's run against some okay horses in Kentucky. So, like I said,
he's
I just think
he's
the
faster than
fastest.
Register.
And now he's inside. He's got only one plan of attack, and that's to go and
I
hopefully
agree.
run
And
them
you've
off
got
their feet.
the speed advantage over them, and we'll see how aggressive
Katie Davis
Katie
is?
is on
Yeah.
Register, because he's the only one
'Cause
with
he-
speed.
right, and he
very
is
good
a
ride last
need
time,
the
being
lead
aggressive.
types. Yeah.
Let me just see this for Zante. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out. Yeah, I think it's the 8th race
Okay.
on Thursday. Let me just get it up here. Yeah, there is a. Yeah, all 3 of these horses are entered in Thursday's
Got
8th
it.
race, and I'm assuming that's the reason. Anyhow,
Usually
get
is.
back to work here in race number 10. This is an absolutely
War.
terrific race. Now, I ended up picking General Partner on top in race number 10. David was saying he's actually been working very well. And to be honest, he's run really well on a wet track. I kind of wanted to see him on a dry track, but he likes a wet track. I don't think the wet track hurts him. And he may be a horse that was, he had a big excuse in his second start when he broke the gate and got slammed. He might be just racing himself into condition. This is a horse that was meant to be extremely good, Maggie.
Yeah,
Clearly
no,
was extremely good. As a two-year-old.
Yeah, I really loved him as a 2-year-old, and he now that he is, compiling a comprehensive campaign, like you said, he's one that has the potential to get better with more racing, and his last race was very good. I do think as we kind of mentioned earlier, we'll see this track start to dry out here, especially by this time, but.
Yeah,
I
I don't think he needs a wet track, and I agree. I think
Yeah.
there's a good chance the track
No,
will
I
be
think
in
he's
better
better
shape
on
by
the
then.
dry track.
Yeah. So now, as far as Scotland, I'm a Scotland fan, and we'll take a look at him winning the Cherokee Mile last time. Listen, he runs his good race. He's going to be very tough in here, but
Right.
he's a little hit or miss. You know
He's
what I
a
mean?
little hit or miss. I would not disagree with you on that sentiment. I don't think he's a true he's run well at it, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's a true 6 furlong horse. I think he needs 7 to a mile to give us his best. And Bill Mott has good numbers with his dirt sprinters off a 6-month-plus layoff, 24%, 22 for 93. And I just think that Scotland could be one maybe the class of the field. Not that I have anything against General Partner, because there's a reason to say that.
Has he won a graded stakes, Scotland? No.
No.
Won the Curlin, right?
Right.
But no,
But
listen,
he's graded stakes
I don't know the
points.
classes, but he's good. I mean, he's done well in Saratoga. I have no problem with him. I put him third because I have a bit of a thing. My thing for Little Nye, and I don't. Is Little Nye really going to be only 6-1 in this race? See, I looked at him and thought it'll be a 15-1 shot.
I was surprised he had him this short.
What are we going to do with this guy standing over,
He's
like looking
very
over? He's very ominous.
He's
Very
like
ominous.
a dark rain cloud.
It's like a dark cloud. Get out of here. Scoot.
Do you need us? Like, I don't know. What?
We're only nice to you because you're our boss.
This is Tony Alavato. Yeah.
Little Nye has that crazy good race behind Bookham Dano.
But that was for Eddie Owens, and why I adore Mark Cassie. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but go ahead.
It's okay. I'll interrupt you. I'll get even.
I know.
My problem, the one race he said to Woody Stevens, he had no shot in that field, outrun
No,
like that.
it's 21
and
to 1.
I hear you, but I kind of want to give him a chance in here at a bigger price. Is he really going to be that big? Is he going to be a bigger price than Tom's horse? I mean, I don't think that 24 Monmouth actually didn't run that badly last time. He got completely eliminated at the start of that
shoe
race.
repair in the
Yeah,
paddock. He stepped on himself, and then he fell out of the gate. I know.
For Flying P? I mean,
What's that
Flying
have to
P is
do?
going to be a short price. I'm going to bet, David, I'm going to bet you a drink that 24 Mom is a shorter price than him. What else are we doing here? You've got, what about the 8? Oh, Running Son of a Gun. Let's show him the toboggan.
I mean, how can you not love this horse, right?
He's the greatest. I love him. And Gregory Charlery got his first win yesterday. Congratulations to him.
Exactly. Wasn't here, but that's okay.
I'm sure he was still happy he won.
Yeah,
Listen, he's a super
absolutely.
cool horse, and I'm not going to be shocked if he gets a piece here, Mag.
I know, and look, maybe he needs to start coming off a little bit of a break, and maybe not running his A race in that Tom Fool. But boy, does he have some fast races to go back to. I adore this horse. So I'll be rooting for him. In other words, the layoff concerns me, but that's about the only thing that concerns me.
I have one question about this race. Are you afraid at all that Concrete Glory could get loose and wire the field? I mean, I'm sure you considered this.
No, okay.
He's
as
pretty
you
quick,
often-
this guy.
As you often say, 7 furlongs with speed is more dangerous than 6 furlongs with speed. And I totally agree with you on that
He's
sentiment.
won at 7.
I know, but
His last
And
race is a hard
he gets
hard
to go back
take,
on
but-
Lasix.
Yeah, I thought I didn't pick him, but you've got him fourth. I
do.
think
I
you
don't
have
love.
to consider
I
that.
hate the fact he wears an extension blinker. That's one of my things. It is. Well, that's why he was eliminated 2 starts
he's
back.
obviously got issues, right? No, you're not wrong. No, I'm teasing you. I wanted to stick in my 2 goofy horses with the 2 logicals, the 4 and 5. So I've got How Great Is Nate in there.
What? Okay, let's
I
hear
don't
it.
know. I didn't think he ran that badly 3 races back. I actually ran it pretty well in that race, and I don't know. I guess I was hoping that it would be a dry track, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he was also against the track last time. I know he spent a lot of time on the rail, but that was a speed and inside day, and I don't know. I thought he had no shot in there. He's got some faster figs to throw. You go back to Long Branch and some of those races. He's run good numbers, last year. I just thought he was a little interesting at a price for Fernando.
Sure.
Throw him in.
Can't-
But I figured
I love that.
2 weird horses with the 2 logicals was
That
sort of
makes
where I
sense.
went in this situation. And I think that point you made about Concrete Glory going back on Lasix is very interesting.
Yeah.
Race number 11, the Diana, and it's a race that really changed when Be Your Best came out,
Yeah.
and she's never run particularly well on turf course. Didn't she run okay once up here?
Wait, yeah.
At a 1 3/8 where there was give in the ground? Yes, they listed as good, that August 8th race.
Yep.
Anyway, they've decided not to play, and as we show, she feels pretty last time winning. I don't think she's badly compromised because she has enough speed to put herself in the game. I don't think she's overly pace dependent
That's the thing.
by any stretch of the imagination.
That's right. I mean, if she's not on the lead, and Schwazia, I don't know. Acacia told us how to say it, and I
wrote
always forgot. Schwazia.
Schwazia or something.
Schwa-
I can't read my handwriting. The
She'll
schwa
get it
part I
right.
got.
We'll get it wrong. But she could be quicker, obviously, if you go back to her Jenny Wiley. But Johnny's good at protecting his position.
No, I
at
think
the end
she'll
of the
be
day.
sitting second to her.
Yeah.
I think she's dangerous. But I'll tell you something. Schwaza, as we show the Just a Game from last time, and Schwaza got a ridiculous trip in this race.
100%.
Absurd trip. And now she can
Wide
beat a speed.
to nowhere.
And I changed my picks because the 6 came out. And maybe I'll end up regretting it. But
No, it's not the wrong. I really feel as though that's not the wrong choice.
yeah, my feeling here, and you know, there's a lot of talk that, oh, Excellent Trip had a tougher trip than Dynamic Pricing. Yeah, she did. She was one path wider than in the whole race. But I don't think it would have necessarily changed it. And also, it's sometimes easier to rally outside of horses when you get your momentum going than inside. I think Dynamic Pricing, I always liked, is finally getting to trips. And the other thing, when Dynamic Pricing lost the Lake Placid, now, She Feels Pretty was best, but Dynamic Pricing was wide, too, against the Gold Rail.
I also think, and I probably should have changed my picks here as well, that Dynamic Pricing might be the best horse on this ground.
I agree. That's the other thing. I agree.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that the ground, this really moves her up in here. My feeling with She Feels Pretty, and you know how I feel about She Feels Pretty. I think she's sensational, and I
Yeah.
think there's a very, very good argument she should be 10-0. I don't think she's ever been in a race where she didn't run the best race. Everybody talks about the blinkers. I just think she starts not getting bad trips, you know, because she...
Which could have been because of the blinkers.
But
you
I
know,
also-
she
well,
put herself in a better position, or
The
was
blinkers
more
probably
pliable.
didn't make her 3 wide against Gold Rails repeatedly.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
probably
Yeah.
weren't the reason.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure at this point she has some demonstrative edge in speed figures on these horses. And listen, I don't want to get too caught up
I
in speed
understand that.
figures in turf races. But Schwarzy ran really well 2 races back and then got a preposterous trip last time out. And Dynamic Pricing ran a big figure. So you know, not that I have an issue with She Feels Pretty with giving the ground, but I think it does move up the other filly more.
Yeah. This is a.
What?
This is the more I now relook back at this race, the more I'm confused.
My feeling is, I think
Not that you're confusing me.
if somebody
it's just-
said to me,
yeah.
you just have to pick the winner,
Yeah.
I'd pick She Feels Pretty.
Right.
Because she is
Right.
the likeliest winner.
Yeah.
But I don't think she's worthy of even money against this field. I may be proven wrong, and I've been her biggest fan, you know, going back. A friend of mine said to me before the QE2, what's the big deal with this horse? I think she's kind of overrated. I said, she will gallop today. She will finally not get a bad trip,
Yep.
and she will absolutely crush in there. She's good.
She,
You know, I don't want to
consistency
try to.
The consistency you respect, but it also kills your price.
Yeah, and I just think the others have enough of a chance. An interesting
Yeah,
race.
they're definitely there.
We'll see what happens in the Diana. We are off the turf in the last. I'm curious what you did here. Oh, let's show the turf workout while we're on it. The turf race of Girls Rock and She Wants War, since they both decided to run in here. And I think they're dangerous. I'd probably prefer Girls Rock, but I went, like
yeah.
you, to the Gellhorn, but I also picked Karis Chianti on the outside.
Okay.
Well, I won't be shocked these horses do well. They're fast and they could be there. And they're probably going to be 1-2. Yeah, I will say with Gellhorn, the 3rd place finisher, improved substantially the next time out. But she's also a horse that wanted a dry track. If you look up that
Right,
horse, that's the
Practical
Mott
Love.
horse that
That
won here
one,
last
I mean,
week.
and like she was the one who had the most chances in the race, but she was so muddied up by.
I had
track
picked her
conditions.
4th, and as I was talking about the race, I just was talking myself into her.
Into her,
because
right.
I realized I made a mistake because I was against the favorite.
And 2, upon a start, was able to wire the field that day, and I thought Gellhorn lapped onto her well enough with the kind of wide trip, and ran better than any of the other ones that come out of that race. I get, considering Karis Chianti in here as well, who comes out of the ragtime race. But the ragtime race, while she ran well in her next start, the others haven't necessarily.
Yeah, but I don't.
Not horribly,
I
but-
like Karis Chianti based on her first race. I
Fair.
thought she ran well enough to win this race in her first race.
She did.
And then she gets involved in a speed duel in a very tough-looking race. Now, you may be right. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a war that she was in last time, and this ain't exactly a war. This is barely a skirmish.
The reason why I put She Wants War a little bit ahead of Girls Rock, who I think in her last dirt race ran against some nice horses,
Yep.
and first time out as well, some decent dirt horses. But She Wants War, while she's never been on the main track, Warville actually has been better with his dirt horses, and she's a have to run classic, who's very good, kind of sprinting, or is sprinting on the dirt. So
But Wesley's kept her off the dirt. Doesn't mean she won't be able to run there because...
you're trying to make sense of Wesley?
No, that was a very stupid move by me. I appreciate you smartening me up in there. Anyway, we're done. Maggie, it was a pleasure, as it always is.
Yeah.
We're just
Likewise.
getting started. It's going to turn into a nice day. We can't really apologize for the weather, but we're with you. It is very, very frustrating. There's no doubt about it. Don't let it ruin your fun, though, in Saratoga. But it does detract a little bit from the races, but you make the most of it. And sometimes off the turf days are days you can make money.
Money,
So let's keep an open mind about the races, see what happens, and we'll move forward. The Diana is a terrific race. And I always like seeing Farbridge run, and I've been waiting to see if El Razine can step it up. So I'm actually kind of
I
looking
think
forward to
you've kind of talked me into El Razine a little bit.
I just think he's
You
an
know?
interesting horse.
Yeah.
He's going to have to run.
Yeah.
I mean, he's running against a very, very good horse today. I don't have any illusions, but I've just sort of wanted to take a shot in this spot. Head over to Naira Bets. Use the promo code SPA200. We'll match the $200 of your initial deposit. We have a bankroll builder for the Travers. Bet 50 to win the Diana. Win or lose, you'll get $20 towards your Travis bankroll builder. You've dramatically increased your odds. So if you do like She's So Pretty and you bet 50, you're only betting 30. If she's even money, you get 100 back. You're actually getting over 2 to 1.
Doing all
in
right.
that situation, you actually probably make her a value play. So this is how it turns around. I mean, it is true. It really
It
is.
is.
You know, when you think about it. And we also have, Eddie, Crossford Big Five, races 7 and 8 at Monmouth, 3 races here. All of the races, I guess the first race at Monmouth and our races will be shown on America's Day at the Races, or Cerro Live, sorry. 12:30 to 7 on FS2, and then we'll take an hour break and be back from 8 to 11. And a tip of the hat to the crew sticking around for that. I believe there'll be a very special guest on the Harness Show. Do you know who the guest analyst is?
No.
The racing secretary, Rob McLennan, who might also be the best handicapper working at Naira.
And he does trotters as well?
There is
Or
nothing
standard
that
breeds?
man cannot do.
I would say so. I
He
know.
is a racing renaissance man.
He really is.
Yes.
He really is.
Yes.
And good
a
guy.
Total savant. Yes, he is a very good guy and doing a great job here as well, and it's never easy. We appreciate you sticking through with things with us. The weather, we can't control it, but you know what? It's Saratoga, and it's always a good time. Frank Miramonti's up next for the reprise of the Scratches and Changes. Have a great day.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise, remove your hats, as we direct your attention to the flagpole as well as the winner's circle. Saratoga Racecourse welcomes Brian Flagg for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Saratoga Racecourse. The track is starting out as sloppy. The turf is yielding. The 8th and 11th races remain on turf. We had a huge storm this morning, and therefore the rest of the races are off the turf today. The 8th and 11th remain on turf, which is listed as yielding. Again, big storm here in Saratoga Springs. Early this morning, it went on for hours. Here are the changes. In the first, started the early pick 5, scratch number 3, Tappett's Legacy. Race 2 kicks off the early pick 4. Races 2 through 5. Number 2, Jetty's Home, make the jockey Ricardo Santana Jr. Race 2, number 2, Ricardo Santana Jr. In the third, scratch number 2, Joey Muscles. There is a pick 5 on race 3 through 7. Fourth race offers pick 4 wagering, scratch number 4, Sitka. The fifth will be run at 1 mile on the main track. The following horses are scratched. 1, Clear Conscience. 2, Union Trail. 3, Son of a Birch. 4, It's All Coming Together. 6, Daunt. 8, Activist Investing. 9, Retouch. 10, Baker Street, as well as 13, Sagamore Mischief, and 15, Magnolia Midnight. There will be a jockey change for number 11. Jockey named, rather. For Certified Lover Boy, Flavien Pratt rides number 11. Race 5, scratch 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 13, and 15. Pick 5 wagering starts with the 5th. There is a middle pick 4 beginning with race 6 off the turf, 5.5 on the main. Scratch numbers 3, Pisces Moon, 4, Looks to Kill, 5, Santina, and 10, Collective Beauty. 3, 4, 5, 10 are out of the 6th. In the 7th, the dollar pick 6 starts. Scratch 3, Determinedly. Scratch 6, Film Star. 3 and 6 out of the 7th. The 8th is the 67th running of the Bowling Green Grade 2 event. Scratch 1, Starting Over. New scratch in now of number 3, Tawny Port. That was not on the earlier scratches. Scratch 1, 3, 5, Web Slinger, and 8, Corruption. 1, 3, 5, and 8 now out of the 8th, the Bowling Green. In the 9th, to be run on the main track at 1 1/8 miles. Late pick 4 starts. There will be no show, trifecta, or superfecta wagering. Following horses are out of the 9th. 1 Move to Gold, 1A Debt Limit, 2B of Courage, 3 Tirage, 4 Navy Seal, 6 Classic Creation, 7 Ramblin' Wreck, 9 Then, 11 Better Lucky Than Good, 12 Waitlist, 13 Rocketeer, 15 Frizzante. Race 9, scratch 1, 1A, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, and 15. In the 10th, scratch number 6, Lightman. The 11th is the 87th running of the Duncan Diana Grade 1 event with a $500,000. This will be run on the outer turf. Scratch number 6, Be Your Best. And in the 12th off the turf, 5.5 furlongs on the main track, scratch the following runners. 1, Regalton. 2, Tater Tot. 3, My Divine Spirit. 5, Sonia Henny. 7, Fast Market. 10, Panache. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, and 10 are out of the 12th race. We thank you for joining us this afternoon at Saratoga Racecourse. The early pick 5 starts with race 1, and it kicks off in 22 minutes. Enjoy your day.
You bet with Naira Bets. Bet any track, anywhere, anytime. Download the Naira Bets app to play today and get a $200 deposit bonus. Watch live horse racing. Get expert picks. Boost your bankroll with weekly promotions and hone your handicapping skills with exclusive tips and tutorials. Download the Naira Bets app now. Sign up now to claim your $200 deposit match bonus. You bet with Naira Bets.
The New York Racing Association welcomes you to Saratoga Racecourse. Your safety is our primary concern. If it becomes necessary to evacuate Saratoga Racecourse, please follow these guidelines to walk calmly out and away from the 1863 Club, the apron, the main building, and the backyard. Those in the 1863 Club basement area will go up the center staircase or the loading dock area staircase. Patrons and employees on the first floor use the loading dock stairs or exit out the main lobby exits or out the front doors. Turn right toward the loading dock area or turn left to the horse path and proceed out onto the track. Those on the second floor will walk down the main staircase and out of the building or use the pedestrian bridge over to the main building. Those on the third floor will go down the center staircase or the west end staircase down to the loading dock area and continue out and away from the building. If you're located trackside on the clubhouse apron, on the dining porch, or the grandstand apron, walk forward onto the track through the emergency exit trackside gates. Turn right or left and continue along the outside rail to the exits. As you're exiting, please be mindful of any horses that may be in the area. Those in the interior clubhouse and grandstand areas will exit out into the park areas in the rear of the building and continue out through gates A and B for the grandstand and gates C and D for the clubhouse area. Those located in the second floor clubhouse box seat areas, left or right of the winner's circle, will walk down the nearest unobstructed staircase to the apron area and proceed out the trackside gates onto the track. Turn right and continue along the outside rail to gate 10. Those in the club terrace dining and standing areas will utilize the metal staircases at the rear of the building down to the ground level and continue out gate C. Once in a stairwell, should you encounter smoke or other obstructions, leave the stairwell immediately and proceed to another stairwell. Those in the first and second level turf terrace dining areas west half will proceed down the west end fire escape to the ground level and continue out gate D. Those in first and second level turf terrace dining east half will take the east end staircase onto the clubhouse roof, then continue down to the ground level and out gate C. Third and fourth level turf terrace dining west half will utilize the rear or west staircase down to the ground level and proceed out gate D. Those in third and fourth level turf terrace dining east half will utilize the east end staircase or ramp down to the clubhouse roof, then continue down to the ground level and out gates C and D. If you are in the second floor club seating, sections D through L, or the grandstand seating, sections M through Y, including the stretch seating area, proceed down the staircases to the trackside apron and proceed out onto the track. Turn left or right and continue along the outside rail to exit. Those in the second floor easy-goer dining area will go down the staircases at the rear of the building to exit through the park and out gate B. Those in the paddock area and paddock tent will walk through the paddock and out the saddling area emergency gate. Please be mindful of any horses that may be in close proximity. Those in the other rear park areas will proceed out the nearest unobstructed gate. All egress aisleways and emergency exits must be kept clear of personal articles and items. Once outside, please continue away from the gates and await further instructions from public safety personnel. Elevators and escalators will not be in use during an emergency evacuation. Guest services and security personnel will be available to guide and assist ADA guests and anyone who may require additional assistance. This concludes our evacuation plan for Saratoga Racecourse. Thank you for being prepared in advance to respond calmly in an emergency. Enjoy today's events.